All of your teachers and school staff members have been trained in a program called ALICE, which stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. The goal of the program is to give teachers and students many options to respond proactively to any life-threatening situation in the school building.
In a traditional lockdown, you would lock the door down and huddle in a corner. In this case, we're going to barricade the door, use the night lock, and spread out amongst the room with counter devices. In addition, you want to look for alternative escape routes, another door or a window, and look around the room for desks and chairs and tables that will enhance the lockdown after the night lock is secured at the door.
Counter is done as a last resort if an unsafe person gets into our classroom. Counter allows us to do something to distract the unsafe person. Remember, we can distract the unsafe person's brain for 0.27 seconds when we use counter. During that distraction, we evacuate to our rally point.
Countering is what you do when someone's directing violence at you and you're attempting to survive. Fighting legally has a totally different connotation. Fighting means that you and the individual are both there of your own free will, and you're engaging in contact with the individual. I've heard it referred to as hand-to-hand combat, in the military, or you're not defending yourself, you're actually fighting an individual. That was one of the reasons that, the terminology run, hide, fight, while easy to remember, has a different connotation in business and education when you're trying to implement things. Countering is a lot better. It's much easier to understand and actually fits the circumstance that the people find themselves in. This isn't a fight. It's not fair. We're not going out and teaching people how to fight gunmen. What we're teaching them is there are very simple, proactive things that you can do in order to mitigate casualties during an incident and actually allow people to survive. Most of those are based around movement. Where lockdown, we weren't allowed to move under ALICE. Movement is paramount in our response. The movement and all of the actions of the people, including the throwing of items at the face and how that distracts and how it interrupts people's ability to observe, orient, decide, and act if they're pulling a trigger. Doesn't mean that they stop doing it, it just means they're not doing it accurately. Where the lockdown actually allows them to do it accurately, this allows them not to do that, prevents them from doing it.
Whenever you're evacuating a campus or a classroom, you want to do this as quickly and safely as possible. There are a couple of important things to remember. First, and most importantly, you can leave all of your belongings behind. Second of all, you should exit the campus via foot. Please do not get in your cars, as that would cause traffic problems as emergency vehicles are trying to enter our campus. Whenever you evacuate a classroom, you want to go to the quickest and safest route available to you, and most importantly, head directly to the rally point where you will be able to be reunited with teachers and administrators who can help you find your families.
In the event of an aggressive intruder on campus that causes NBPS, to initiate ALICE protocols, one of the options available is evacuation. If it is determined that evacuation is the desired option, students and faculty will exit campus using the best available route off campus and then make their way to our predetermined rally point, which is the marketplace at Hillsborough, located on the corner of Lyons Road and Hillsborough Boulevard. When you arrive to this location, look for an administrator in this area to help direct, guide, and support you throughout this process. In the unlikely event that we need to evacuate, there are 4 primary campus evacuation routes available, and you should select the best option based on the specifics of the incident. 2 of the routes exit campus through the north and south entrance gates onto Lyons Road. Once you exit campus, turn left onto the sidewalk adjacent to Lyons and continue along Lyons Road until you reach Northwest 71st Street. At this point, turn left onto Northwest 71st and look for the entrance to turn right into the Marketplace parking lot. It's in that area where you'll be looking for an NB administrator who will help direct and guide you. 2 additional campus evacuation routes exit campus to the south onto Northwest 74th Street. The first route uses the access road adjacent to the lower school to exit campus onto Northwest 74th. The second route is a path located south of the International Village, going through the woods to exit onto Northwest 74th Street. Using either of these routes, once you reach Northwest 74th Street, turn right, which is towards Lyons, and follow Northwest 74th until you get to Northwest 43rd Avenue. Turn left onto Northwest 43rd Avenue and follow it its full length until you get to Northwest 71st Street. Turn right onto Northwest 71st Street and follow it until you get to the entrance into the Marketplace. And again, it is here that you'll be looking for an administrator who will help guide and support you.
Now that you know the evacuation route options, it's important to remember that the route you choose could change depending on where you're located and where the incident is taking place. Let's take just a few minutes and think. Based on your location, which evacuation route would you choose if an incident was taking place right here in the Global Wellness Center? Now, based on the location that you're currently in, which evacuation route would you choose if an incident was taking place right here in the Learning Commons area? Notice how your choice might change depending on the information that you are gathering. After watching this video, you are now familiar with the 4 primary evacuation routes available to you. In addition, you know where our school rally point is located. Finally, you have come to realize that depending on where you are located on campus and where an incident is taking place, you might choose one evacuation route over another.